Testing 1 2 test 1 2. Testing 1 2 test 1 2. All right, we're live. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Thursday, June 3rd. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your full Friday. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are watching on a mobile device. We are live every Thursday now here at the Raymond Report. In fact, till about the end of August, maybe the middle of August, we're going to go Thursday and Friday once college football and NFL football starts. And then we'll be on twice a week at 11 a.m., hopefully bringing you some good information for your college football on Thursday. And we'll break down the Thursday night game and also with the football game on the weekends for NFL. And hopefully we could get a good audience going for the upcoming football season. Hopefully you guys having a good day out there. Hopefully all the winners are coming in. And as usual, my phone goes off. So, no, it should be off. There we go. And I'm going to do a screen share now, and I'm going to get right into it. And I'm going to go right into the SBI, and let's see what the bookmaker is seeing today for a Thursday, June 3rd. And I think you guys will be able to see that now. Let me see. What am I seeing right here? Yep, I think we're good to go. Just going to bring that down here. Go to the SBI. And again, if you are watching, if you're new to the Raymond Report, we have a bullpen. That's where you can chat. And if you're watching on a replay, join us each and every week right here on our YouTube channel. And we'll show you guys in a few minutes where you can get my picks for free each and every day at our pick sites. All right, let's take a look at the SBI, the Sports Betting Index. And what we do in this segment is we take a look at the what's come in the last few weeks. And like my good friend Ross Benjamin always says, think like a bookmaker. And let's see what the bookmakers are seeing in the NBA. NBA, the favorites are absolutely crushing it. Look at this. Against the point spread, the last, say, 10 days, the NBA favorites, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 10 days, the NBA favorites are absolutely crushing it. 72.7% of the favorites have come in the last 7 days, 27.3% for the underdogs. We're in a neutral market here for the over-unders. 55.9% of the overs have come in the last 7 days. So if you're betting 1 to 5 units, anytime I'm in a neutral state in the either against the spread or the over-unders, I will I'll bet my 5 unit will be my top play, depending on how many plays I got that day. And for the straight up factor, NBA teams are winning at 72.7%. And look at this. If teams are winning straight up, they're most likely covering the spread. In fact, they are. If you look at this record here, it's identical. So teams that are winning, pick the winner in the NBA, and you're going to pick yourself a nice ATS winner as well. Let's go to NHL, and then we'll do the MLB. And again, if you are out there in internet land and you're new to the Raymond Report, my name is Ron Raymond. I'm a 5-time sports handicapping champion since 1996. I've developed over 20 websites in the industry, wrote a book in 2009, which you can get on Amazon. Or if you want a free copy of my book, send me an email and I will forward you a free copy of Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets, which you can get on Amazon or here on the website at ATS Stats. Go to odds, go to Sports Betting Secrets, and you can get a copy of my book. Or why you get a copy when I'll send you a free one, right? All right, and NHL. Let's take a look at the NHL the last few weeks. In fact, the last 7 days, favorites not as good. Underdogs have been pretty good. In fact, the last 7 days, it's hard to gauge, right? Because there's only like 1 or 2 games a night. But if you're using it from a betting perspective, favorites the last 7 days winning 42.9%. So if you're betting underdogs at right now in the NHL, you're winning at 57.1. Belterra Park Race Tips, says Chinsu Say. All right. Yeah, so I did videos today, and I said anybody who wanted some horse racing tips, send me an email and I will send you some tips. So I got a request right now. So for my friend there, I'm going to send him some Belterra Park. What race are you looking at? So I'll bring this over here. And we're at the, let me see, premium tip sheet. So just let me know which race are you at there, Chintu say, and I'll see if I can get you some winners. So you're at Belterra Park, and I don't know what race they're in right now, so I'll give you an idea. So 12:35 post time. So they are probably going into race number 2 right now. So if you got time to get on race number 2, the 5-horse Lady Brenna, if you got whatever your budget is, say if you got a $20 budget, put 10 to win, 10 to 5, 10 to win, 10 to place on the 5-horse Lady Brianna. Scotty Speets on the ride here, 8 to 1. Might be a nice winner for you here. In fact, let me turn on my horse racing channel and I can watch the race along with you to see if Lady Brianna will be a winner. And this is at Belterra Park. I don't know if I get Belterra Park. No, I don't. I got Gulfstream, the Meadows, maybe with the one in the left-hand corner. Normally we used to get Belterra, unless they switch it over. But yeah, if you can let me know what track you're watching there, Chintu say, I'll try to get you some winners using our tip sheet. The Meadows, Gulfstream. Yeah, so Gulfstream is going to go in 13 minutes. All right, so back to the index here. We're going to look at the NHL. And right now in the NHL, the over-unders last 7 days, 57.1%, 42.9% for the unders. And we've been having some great hockey. You know, NHL hockey in the playoffs is fantastic. It's you get these 2 good teams. Last night was a bit of a clunker. Montreal, they played well. It looked like Winnipeg was sitting around eating donuts for a week because they didn't have no jump in their skates, and they didn't have nothing going. Vegas, Colorado, watched a bit of that game. That was a good game, good win for the Avs, up 2-0. And so good hockey games there. All right, let's go to Major League Baseball. Let's take a look at what's come in the last couple of days in Major League Baseball. So favorites, we said at the beginning of the year, right? The underdogs were coming in. It was at an incredible pace, and sure enough, look what's happening now. In the favorites, 59.3. If you recall, about 2 weeks ago, I said, give it another, I think I gave a date of June 15th or June 20th. I said the year to date or it'll be close to 60%. And look at that, 59.3%. And I knew the reversal because NHL, anytime you deal with money line sports, NHL, Major League Baseball, they win at a close to 60% clip, 60-63, I want to say. But money line sports, it's easy to, the great equalizers in the point spread sports, right? Bookmakers can equalize the difference in those other sports because of the point spread. That's what I call the great equalizer. Major League Baseball over-unders. Now, we've had a good run here on unders this year. In fact, we're still having a good run. On the season, the last, let me see here. Yesterday was a big day yesterday. 7-3 for the unders yesterday. In the last 3 days, 52.3, 52. It's been a pretty good run. Look at that, 52.9, 51. Very balanced. Of anything, the totals, the bookmakers do a good job of getting balanced action. Now you got 47.6 on the over. And watching a couple of months, in a month, I say about a month to 6 weeks, this here will be maybe 51. This will be 49. It's amazing how the over-unders will just balance out, right? So that's Major League Baseball. And what we're going to do, what would you like me to break down first? If you guys let me know, if you guys want me to break down NHL, NBA, or Major League Baseball, I'll leave it up to you guys, and I'll break down the games. So just post a comment. What sport would you like me to start off with? Let me see if I got the sound here. You want me to break down NHL, NBA, or Major League Baseball? Yep, there we go. I can. You guys got stage fright out there or what? All right, I'll start off with NBA. I'll go with NBA first. So we got Denver taking on the Portland Trailblazers tonight. And let me see here. So the line is, this line's been jumping a bit here. It was at 5, now it's at 4.5. The over-under is at 227. And Denver's got a 3-2 lead going into tonight. The computer forecast does like Portland here, 116 to 111. The over-under at 227.87. So it does like this game. Look at that. Right on the total. In fact, let me check out Bookmaker. I want to see what Bookmaker has right now as a line. It's just amazing how close these lines can get. Just very tight lines today. Even the Laker game, I got some really tight lines. In fact, I'll take up the ATS Calculator. I know some people like it when I bring out the ATS Calculator, and I'll look at the calculator and I'll do some handicapping there. Just got to open up my calculator on the side here, and then so Bookmaker. All right, basketball, and we got. Let me see the latest line here. So -5, okay, and 227.5. So I have 227.8. And let me bring over this here. All right, there's a calculator. I'll get to that in a second. So yeah, so the Laker game -2, 207, and I'll get to that game in just a few minutes. But looking at the Portland Trailblazers tonight, and looking at the wire to see the latest injuries or any news coming out for tonight's game, and I think we're all good to go here when it comes to injuries. Everybody's expected to play, which is good because you want a good game, right? Now the Portland Trailblazers down 3-2 in this series, and they're coming off a 147-140 loss to Denver in the last game, overtime game. I don't know if it was double overtime or single, I can't remember. But looking at tonight, you have a B-type team in the Rain Report. So a B-type team means a team that is 50 to 59.9% against an A-type team. And when they face these A-type teams at home, 3-7. Now, Portland had a better second half, right? And I'm going to bring over the my database, and I'm going to take a look at Portland in the second half of the season to see how they've done. They've had a really good second half. Let me see here. Portland, I think Indiana did too. So let me go over here, and I'll go to NBA. And let's go all conference. And what I'll do is I'll go back. So right now we are June 3rd. So I'll go back to June 2nd. And let me go back to, say, the middle of April. Let's go back to the middle of April and see which teams have been on a good run since the middle of April. It'll give us a good idea of what we're dealing with, right? And then you'll pin like this right here, the Boston Celtics, 9-14, didn't have a good second run. Brooklyn, 15-7. What a series that's going to be with the Bucks. I can't wait to see that game. In fact, what's the line on that game? Milwaukee, Brooklyn, -4, total 240. 240 is a total. That is amazing. New York, 13-8 since April 15th. They had a good run. Philly, 15-7. Toronto, not worth talking about. They're joining the Leafs right now in the Leafs Classic Invitational Golf Tournament. As an Ottawa guy, you know I got to take my little jab there, right? Hey, I know Leaf guys not going to be happy. All my Leaf friends out there. Hey, Cleveland 2-16, Detroit 4-13, Indiana 9-11. I thought they were better than that. I think it was the total. Yeah, the over. Maybe it was the over I was thinking about. Milwaukee 16-6 since the middle of April, and 10, but only 10-10 against the point spread. Atlanta 15-7. Atlanta, man, you know it's. I know it's the New York Knicks, and Barrett was nowhere to be found. But I thought Atlanta had a pretty good second. Ever since they made the coaching change, they've been a really respectable team, right? Charlotte, Miami, I think just got caught being too tired from last year in the bubble, and the finals hangover, right? They never recouped and never had that same chemistry that they had last year in Orlando. Speaking of Orlando, they had a really rough time. Denver 15-7, 10-12 against the point spread. You got Minnesota, Portland now. Portland's 13-10, 13-9-1. So not a great run here for the Portland Trailblazers. Oklahoma 2-15, Utah 15-7, Golden State had a good second half since April 15. Clippers 10-10. You look at the Clippers now. You understand why they're fighting for the lice, right? They're a 500 basketball team. Lakers below 500. Look at that, 11. You can't just turn on the switch when you're facing elimination, right? It's like, oh, I think we better play, or if not, we're going golfing tomorrow. The best teams, you can't make up a team at the trade deadline. The best teams always play well as a team down the final stretch, right? Sacramento Dallas. Look at Dallas, 15-8. I do like Dallas tonight. I do, or is it tomorrow? I do. Dallas looking good. Houston, Denver tonight. Yeah, Denver's playing 14-12. I knew it started with a D. Hey, New Orleans, San Antonio. So let me see here. Denver. What is Denver and Portland? What's Denver's record down the last 15? Yeah, I think I said it was like 13 or 15-7. Look at that, 15-7. But the thing with Denver, and I said it last week, they're good teams straight up. They don't cover a lot of spreads though. Hey, look at that, 10-7. And when you look at their record tonight on the road, they're 5-5 in Portland, 6-4 against the number, 7-3 to the over. So when they play in Portland, 7-3 to the over. And when Denver's on the road, 23-15, 21-17. And for the Portland Trailblazers, 21-17 at home, 16-21-1 against the number. And but they're 6-4 against the spread in the last 10. But this could go over here tonight. This could go over the total tonight. But I do like Denver. I think getting Denver +5 is a nice. It's value. Like in the playoffs, there's two seasons, right? I always say apples and oranges. You know, regular season apples, the playoffs are oranges, and in analytics could work during the regular season. It's really hard to make analytics. You know, my analytics, anyways, to make them work during the playoffs, because in playoffs you're facing the same team for a minimum of 4 games, maximum of 7, and it's all about the heart. It's all about heart. It's all about momentum, and staying healthy, right? Like anytime you're playing playoff sports, you got to be healthy. You got to have chemistry amongst your teammates. Great coaching. You got to have, again, courage and heart. Like good a good example. The LA Lakers, Anthony Davis, right? Shaq said it. If you watch the TNT about a week ago, Shaq says you got to know the difference by being hurt or being injured. If you're hurt, you suck it up. If you're injured, get out. And growings though, I know growings. Playing hockey and football. Anytime you pop a growing, it plays in your mind, your psyche, right? And but only he knows his body. But you got to play hurt sometimes in playoffs, and there's no tomorrow. Like for the Portland Trailblazers, for the LA Lakers, there is no tomorrow. And the one thing with athletes, and having played sports my whole life, there's that thinking feeling, knowing this could be your last game, and that after tomorrow there's no more sports. And then it's like, oh no, what am I going to do, right? Like this is what these guys are known to do. That's what they want to do. That's what their definite purpose in life is, playing sports, and especially in front of their home crowd or a crowd, and the when you're winning, and there's no better feeling when you're winning. When you're losing, you're soul searching, right? You're trying to find the solutions to the problems, right? So there's my buddy Some Solutions from Florida. Hey, you can see you brought the sunshine there today, Some. I see that. I see you brought the sunshine into the Raymond Report with the palm trees and the sun. Nice. Well, welcome aboard. Cheers. And like I was saying, anytime you play sports or athletes, they want to keep playing. And then when they know that it's Game 7, this is some players make a career of their reputation and their legacy in big games, right? And tonight there's another big game. Like there's going to be a lot of pressure on Dame here tonight. He's going to feel the pressure. And Joker, this is where, as the league MVP, in my view, I think he was the most valuable player this year. This is where he can make a statement tonight by closing out the Portland Trailblazers, right? Up 3-2, and you want to get, your team over the hump and get to the next round, you got to close it out tonight. A, B, C. Always be closing, right? Be closing tonight. And we'll see what can happen. But if you're Damian Lillard, and getting Powell was a great move by the GM for the Portland Trailblazers. Anybody who's seen Norman Powell play the last couple of years in Toronto, like I'm from Canada, I'm from Ottawa, I'm a Raptor fan, and I've followed the Norman Powell and Siakam and Kawhi when he was there. That championship team, you play hurt, and you gotta dig deep and go get you saw. Remember last year there was a shot of Butler, Jimmy Butler in the bubble when he was leaning over, he gave it everything he got, and he went over to the sidelines behind the net, and you saw him leaning over, and that was gut check time. That was like, I'm giving you everything I got. And it's just, I always remember that moment. It's like, yeah, that's a player who wants it bad. And that's how bad you got to want it. You got to be in that type of mindset, and you got to have a killer instinct. Like anybody who's played sports, coached sports, there's a mindset for the regular season, and then there's a killer instinct for the playoffs. And, some of these players, they've got that killer instinct. And some of these players have never won a championship. And that's the hardest part. When you've never won a championship, then you're just you're doing everything in your power to get that ring, right? And we'll see tonight. I think tonight Portland is going to be in a desperate mode. Denver. The good thing with Denver, they got 2 games to finish it out. They'd rather do it tonight, but again, the odds are favoring the Portland Trailblazers. But I think the value lies with the Denver Nuggets here tonight. And looking at my line, I had Denver at minus 4.5, and I had Portland at minus 1.7. And sometimes, I know in hockey, especially in hockey, anytime you're at home in the playoffs, there's you would think you have the advantage. Sometimes you get down behind a goal or 10 points in basketball, you feel the pressure. You can feel the building, the air sucking right out of the building. It's like, you know what? If we don't score the next basket, we don't get the next goal. And if we let there's a moment in the game when you can see it slip away, and that's where, when you're a home team, you feel that it's like you got the crowd on your shoulders, right? And that's where Portland don't want to get to tonight. They don't want to get to that feeling where they're down 10, 15 points, and they're like, they can just hear a pin drop in the building, right? You want to come out, you want to always come out with the foot on the gas, right? Hey, Ron, this is a tough matchup. I like the under, says plant-based junkie. You know what? I think there's better value in the Denver Nuggets. Like, look at the Kogo. What's the Kogo at? 39%. The under, yeah. Hey, you know what? The Kogo's at 39. You had a lot of high-scoring games. And what's everybody's going to remember last game, right? 140 to 147. That's what everybody remembers. I think Portland will be forced to play better defense. Yeah, you know what? And the thing is, it all depends. It all depends on the player's mindset, the coach's mindset. Because us as fans, we will sit there and we'll say, okay, you know what? It's game 6. You're facing elimination. You got to come out safe. You know what I mean? That's what the fans will say. You're gonna have to play defense, and you got to let it ride. Hey, grip it and rip it. That's what we say in football, right? You grip it and rip it and let loose. Just let loose, because as soon as you start playing safe, it's over. Like in football, we always say, anytime in the last 2 minutes of a football game, you see teams going and prevent defense. Well, they're preventing you from winning, because as soon as you go and prevent, you're screwed. Because now they can nickel and dime you all the way down to the field, and you just got to be yourself and just let it go. Just grip and rip it. Everyone's on the over today, and the last game went exactly. That's what I'm saying, right? Everybody's going to see this score right here. 287 points. The NBA All-Star game right here. Hey, it's like an All-Star game, and people are going to see this score, and they're going to think over, right? And I think the value lies in the under. And man, you know what? I'd love to see my database on. Let me try something here. I want to see how teams do after they scored over. Let me see if I got that in my database. How teams do in a high-scoring game in the next. Let me go to my dashboard. I wonder if I got that. The total. What's the total in tonight's game? 227. So wrong one. All right, let me go here. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Go to Super Database. And let me go to NBA. And after, I wonder if I have the team that scored over. I don't think I have 140. Allowed 140 or more. No, I'm going to have to add that. See, after a team scored 120 or more points for in their last game. So let's check out the last couple of years. Actually, we'll do this season since it's the current edition of teams, right? So any team that scored 120 more last game, what's the over-under record? 338, 287. Let me see if the favorite. How about when the home favorite? When the home favorite scores over 120 points, I'm going to have to add 140. I'm going to have to add that in. Look at that. See, it favors the under 94, 102, and 1. So I agree with you, Plant Base. I think this game goes over. But my rule of thumb is this: if you like the underdog, you take the under. If you like the favorite, you take the over, right? And I think the under is a good play, but I think there's better value in Denver, and that's where I'm going to lean tonight. I'm going to go with Denver plus 4.5, and if you can get 5, get 5. I think you can. And when Denver's on the road, coming off an over 6-1 against the point spread, so pretty good record here for Denver. And looking at the one thing, let me see. I thought I saw something. Maybe it's the Laker game. I don't know. Let me see here. There was something I saw that really stood out. Maybe it was the other game after. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go next game. I'm going to go to Lakers. Now, this is LeBron James. This is tough. This is a tough game. Like, LeBron James knows they need AD. You don't have the big guy in the middle. And, Batman, I always say Batman needs Robin. And when you don't have Robin with you right now, Batman feels all the pressure. And LeBron James, there's a reason why he bolted that game last game, right? He knew it's over. Drummond, I thought Drummond would have, but Drummond, he was great in Detroit. I loved him when he was in Detroit. But sometimes when you go to a new team, there's added pressure mentally, right? And I wonder if that's what Andre's feeling right now. Being on a championship team like the Lakers, a big guy like him, you got the way he plays is very physical, right? And I just wonder what's going on with Andre Drummond. In fact, let me take a look at his points last game. Andre Drummond last game, 7 points. Yeah, see, he's not. He's playing 22 minutes. He's getting the minutes. 22 minutes, probably not as much as he'd like. He's probably used to playing like 30-some minutes. But 13 rebounds. So it's just the points, right? He's not chipping in the paint. But I think looking at this game here tonight without Anthony Davis, this is a tough task. This is where does LeBron have like a Jordan-esque type game where he's scores 50 points tonight? I don't think so. I think Phoenix has got the hammer here, even though they're an underdog of +2. Look at the computer pick: 103.8, 103.7. 207.6. So it does like this game here tonight to go to the Lakers, but Phoenix to cover. My line on this game, I had Phoenix at -5.3, and you can see the Lakers at -2.2. So if you do like the Lakers, you got fair market value, but you're missing the pieces of the puzzle here tonight, right? For the Suns, -5, and you're getting +2. You're getting great value. The percentage played, obviously, again, when it comes to analytics in the playoffs, you got to take it with a grain of salt. To me, it's like I said, you got to have heart, you got to have courage, you got to outcoach. Your players got to want it more, and it just shows you got to want it. You got to be hungry when it comes to playoff anything, football, hockey. You just got to come together as a group collectively, and you got to want it more than the other team. That's the bottom line. How bad do you want to win this game? Do you want it more than the other team that's showing up on the court tonight? Or are you just happy to be here, collect your check, and then go home and then start training in the offseason? If you're a free agent, you're looking to bolt already, right? That's what it comes down to tonight. And if you're like Chris Paul, you're like, you know what? We got our foot on their throats. It's time to finish them, right? That's how they're thinking. Phoenix, there's a reason why they got Chris Paul, because he's the leader. Hey, he's the president of the NBA Player Association. The guy's a winner. He's a leader, and that's why they went and got Chris Paul. Bottom line, now his leadership, and you saw it in game 1 when he got injured. He had a whiplash or some form of whiplash, and he came back, and he wasn't as productive. But the people, his teammates, see that, and they see how inspiring that is, and then now they want to win for him. Because he's willing to give everything he's got. And now, and then you look at the Lakers, and you got AD, rolling around and not, again, are you hurt or injured, right? There's a lot of factors that you got to consider. If you're hurt, you got to suck it up, like Shaq says. You're injured, then you follow the doctor's instructions, get medically cleared, and then you come back. But I think at the end of the day, Lakers are in a tough spot. But anytime you got LeBron James, you got a shot. You got a shot. So I think tonight, going into this game, I hate betting against, LeBron James type players because, especially guys who got championships and they know this is a deciding game at home, but it doesn't look good, right? And this is where you got to ignore the public perception. Remember I say all the time in these videos, perception versus reality. Now, the perception going into this game is that the Lakers are done. That's the perception, right? If you follow perception, everybody's going to say Lakers are done. But what's the reality? The reality is, and I showed you guys when I did the record since April 15th, the Lakers are 1 point below 500. They're not having a good second half. And it's not one game that's really going to change the season or the playoff atmosphere. You got to look at collectively how they've done in the last 10 games. So they lost by 30 points in the last game. Then they lost by 8. Then they won here, 109.95. They won 109.02. So they had 2 good games. Then they lost by 9. And then prior to that, before the end of the regular season. Yeah, but keep in mind, the end of the regular season. And this is, see, I'm glad I'm talking about this. You remember how they load management their way into the playoffs? Well, who thought load management was really a good thing that, go into your playoff and everybody picks a night off to sit down? Yeah. You can't think like that. In sports, you got to build chemistry. You got to build momentum. And it's like streaks, right? You look at baseball hitters. When baseball hitters are in the zone, they can go for a 10, 20 game hit streak. It's the same thing in sports. Like there's an offensive zone you got to get into. You got to play good defense, and you got to have heart. You got to have heart. At the end of the day, if you have no heart, you have no courage, you're the Tin Man, right? And right now, we're going to see here tonight what's going to happen with the Lakers. But I think the Lakers, all of a sudden, they don't flip the switch. You are what your record says you are, as Bill Parcells always says, and I love that quote. I think it's one of the best quotes in sports. And their record tells me right now, in their last 7 games, they're 4-3, and they're averaging 99, giving up 101 against, where the Phoenix Suns are 110 and 101. So from an analytical point of view, I think Phoenix is the better team. And this is where you got the champs on the rope, and now you got to deliver the knockout punch. You got to knock them out tonight. If you're Phoenix Suns, you're at the Staples Centers. It's KO time, right? You just need Michael Buffer or one of the Buffer brothers there to get them going. But plant-based junkie says a lot of indicators point to the over in this one. I predicted this series to go to Game 7, so I have no choice but to go with the Lakers in this spot. Well, yeah, if you want to, I know what you're saying, right? But the thing is sometimes you didn't know that in Game 1 that AD would be out in Game 5 and 6. So sometimes you got to adjust on the fly. I don't think defending champs lose on home court tonight. See, that's the perception, right? This is what I'm talking about. The perception versus reality. And that's what people are going to be thinking about. Oh, LeBron's not going to lose on home court. Well, you know what? LeBron lost the last game, and they have lost on home court. In fact, let me see here. Yeah, they lost 192. So they can lose on home court, and I think they're in tough here tonight. Any questions about the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns game or any of the other games? And if not, I'm going to pass up to NHL, and then I'll do a bit of Major League Baseball. Don't forget, folks, you can follow us here each and every Thursday now, 1 p.m. Eastern, a live stream. And, it works better this way. Doing a live stream all the time, unless I have like a production crew that can do preparation work, I'm the type, I'm a football coach, and I like being prepared. And when I go on a show and I'm not prepared and I don't have a lot of information, I don't do garbage. I'd rather do a show that's really productive, that it's informative, it has good content, and doing a show once a week allows me the whole week to bring you guys information and be prepared. And also, I'm doing a 30 tips in 30 days series and I'll be doing this live. Well, not live. I'll be releasing it once I'm all done. Right now, I'm in the research phase of all my tips. I got all my tips. Now I got to get all the facts together. But I will be doing a 30 for 30, 30 tips in 30 days. It's going to be a great, it's going to be short videos, and I can't wait to bring those tips to you guys. And you'll see that there's some good information coming your way. And I'll release that right away. And also, I'm going to do a short college football top 25 video on each of the top 25 teams and NFL. So stay tuned to the Raymond Report. And don't forget, subscribe to our channel. And this way, anytime I go live, you will get that information. And we will bring you some good information here. All right, ready for NHL. Thanks, Ron. Yeah, let's do it. Boston, New York Islanders. Now, this is a great series. This has been that overtime game is probably one of the best hockey games, probably the top 5 games I've seen in the last couple of years. That was a great overtime game. Unfortunately, if you're a Boston fan, it wasn't a good game in that respect. But if you like the Islanders, obviously you're pretty happy. And the Lightning. What can I say about the Lightning? They're the best team in hockey right now. I don't see any team beating them 4 games. To me, I know Colorado's look good. The only thing I'm going to question Colorado is, can McKinnon stay healthy? If McKinnon can stay healthy, they got a shot. But I'm just waiting any day now where McKinnon's going to be out. You know, it's just he has a history of injuries. Anytime a player has a history of injuries, they're tough to tough to trust, right? All right, so Boston taking on the New York Islanders. Now looking at the lineup here tonight, it should be Varlamov, but you know what? At this point, Sorokin or Varlamov, 1A, 1B. It doesn't matter who's in net, but they're probably going to go with Varlamov here tonight against Tuukka Rask. And, Boston's played well. I know a lot of people are big on Boston. I just don't see it. I just don't see why people like the Boston Bruins. I get they got Marchand, they got Bergeron. Without Chair on the bringing that sandpaper and being the making everybody. I always say a tough guy like that makes everybody 6'4" on the ice, right? You don't think Winnipeg and Montreal would love to have Chair in that lineup last night after that cheap shot by Scheifele? I guarantee you, if Chair is in the lineup, that doesn't happen, right? Best series to be says best series to be to you. I guess you meant plant-based. Laurie Bauer. Last game was that 242 before overtime. I think it will be lower, but I still lean to the over, says Laurie Bauer. 227. So is that the which game is that, Laurie? I love the Islanders. Ron, remember last year you had futures on Islanders? This could be the year. Yeah, I know. I like the Islanders this year. I don't love them like I did last year. For some reason, I really loved the Islanders last year. But knowing that Tampa Bay is in that division, Tampa Bay, I love Florida. I thought Florida had a really good shot, but I underestimated the value of what's his name there, Stamkos and Nikita Kucherov. Man, Kucherov in the Florida series in the first couple of games was just outstanding. But Vasilevsky, you got the best goaltender in the world right now. You can do anything. Anytime you got a goal, if you're going to handicap playoff hockey, I always say go by always the handicap back end out. I stand corrected, says Laurie Bauer. What are you talking about, Laurie? You talking about the let me see here, the Denver game or the Laker game? 227. I just yeah, okay. Yeah, so looking at tonight's game, the bookmakers, now look at the line here on Boston, 156. Euro runner now at 5.5. Computer, I'm going against the computer here tonight. I know the computer pick likes 2.7 for Boston, 2.5. Again, maybe the analytics were pointing towards Boston, perception versus reality. The reality is this. Look at this. The New York Islanders at home, 23-8. 23-8 at home, but they're a little bit Jekyll and Hyde syndrome, right? When they're at home, they're 23-8. When they're on the road, they hide. They're 14-19. But mission accomplished. Suzuka's getting that goal last game. Let me see here. The overtime winner, Casey Suzukas, right? I want to make sure I get some of these names, like the Carolina goaltender, Nedeljkov. Yeah, a lot of these names, you got to be careful. Make sure you say the pronunciation right. All right, so when I'm looking at, let me see, Casey. Where is it here? Yeah, Casey Cizikas, a fourth line player, got the winner. That was awesome. Casey Cizikas got the winner. Beautiful goal, top shelf. And going into tonight, the one thing I like about the Islanders, yeah, they are gritty. They're scrappy. Their fourth lines, and you know what? Barry Trotz has rolled up fourth line like they're getting a lot of time. In fact, look at Matt Martin. Matt Martin last game, 13 minutes. A fourth line's getting 13 minutes. That's pretty good. You know, when you compare to other fourth lines players. In fact, you know, Boston's got a good team too, so they can roll out four lines. But let me check out Boston's fourth line, see how they're doing on time of ice. So let me see here. Boston, where's my depth chart? Boston. Okay. All right. So the fourth line for the now just got to find that fourth line. Let me see here. So the fourth line, yeah. No, let me see. Maybe it's just rolling three lines. Let me see. Nick Ritchie. So Nick Ritchie last game, time of ice. Is that correct? Oh, that was hang on. That was Pittsburgh series. Let me see. Jake DeBrusque. Let me see how much ice time Jake's getting right here. Oh, he's injured. All right. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. Who's the fourth line for Boston right now? Let's see here. Every time you watch a Boston game, it's always all you see is Bergeron and Marchand and Pasternak. Pass has been good. Pass has been really good. But yeah, you know, Barry Trotz is rolling four lines. Nedeljkovic. Yeah, Nedeljkovic. There, hey, you know what? Nobody's perfect. That's a great way to. I should hire you as my my spell checker, right? But first, I think you need to spell check your name. Hey, Boston record is terrible at Nassau. Yeah. Well, you know what? 6-4 in the last 10. That's not too bad when you think about it. They're 6-4 in the last 10 games, but their road record on the year 17-14. Like, don't get me wrong, Boston's a nice team. They're a nice team. They're a bit small for me when it comes to like a long series. You know, when you get late in the third and fourth round, the Stanley Cup, like they're a smaller team that could. I don't know if they can last that long, but I do like the Islanders here today. Barry Trotz has been in this spot, but you know he's got a win though, right? But I do like the John Gabriel Pajot has been fantastic. He's probably one of the best face-off guys you want taking face-offs in the NHL. Pajot, good face-off guy. But coming down to tonight, I think, yeah, I like the value we're getting with the New York Islanders. Now look at the Islanders here, 7-3 at home against A-type teams that are 60% in the standings, 7-3 straight up. So I think you're getting great value here on the New York Islanders. My line, minus 105. You're getting plus 135. I think Boston's like, look at, I had my line at 156, and look at that, 156. That's amazing. Hey, who says I sharpen a dart here, eh? Who says I sharpen darts here when I come up with these things? Hey, like, pretty good. Hey, I think Boston, to be honest, I think they're overvalued. That 156, like, even though I got them at 156, again, I think they're a good team. I don't think that they should be a 156 favorite here tonight. But, you know, that's why they got to play the game, right? Now, both these teams going in on the 2 days rest. And let me see. I thought I saw a nice stat here. Maybe that was the other game. Yeah, here it is. The New York Islanders on coming off a 1-goal win, and they're at home this year, 8-1. They played a lot of 1-goal games, so they're pretty good in 1-goal games. And I'm going to go under 5-1 as a home dog this year. Give me the New York Islanders. I do like the Islanders here tonight, and it doesn't matter who starts. If it's Sorokin or Varlamov, I think you're good. Now the other game. This is a tough one. So you got Carolina taking on Tampa Bay here tonight. Minus 156. I had minus 159. And is that line going up or down? Yeah, I thought it was 170 or something earlier. I thought I saw one. Yeah, 172. This line is 172, and it's coming down. So, hey, do I think Tampa Bay is going to sweep Carolina? I'd be shocked. Carolina is going to win 1 or 2 games. It's the thing with Tampa Bay. You saw it in game 1 or 2. They play their B game. they don't do a great job in game 1 and 2, but they still find a way to win. And that's the difference. Remember I was talking about the Lakers, you got to gut check time, you got to dig deep, you got to, use every quote you want, cliches. But at the end of the day, Tampa Bay getting Kucherov back, Stamkos back, Cirelli's been good, Gould's been good, Yannick Gourde. Their defense is so heavy. Like they've got such a big defense, it's unbelievable. Like when I look at this defense for like Chernak, how big is Chernak? Is he 6'4", 6'7", or something like that? Let me see here. Chernak, Eric Chernak. So Eric Chernak, 6'3". Who is 6? It was Hedman. I think Hedman is 6'6". Hedman is 6'6". Then you got Jan Ruda. Ruda 6'3". Like I don't think there's any 5'10" guys in this defense. 6'1" for McDonough. You got Luke Shen. Luke Shen is the third line defense. He's 6'2". Sergachev has been a nice addition, a nice surprise. 6'3". Like this Tampa Bay defense is solid. They're thick and they're big. Like they're super big at defense. Savard, but I think Savard's been injured here. Hang on here. Yeah, Savard's been out. Yeah, it's too bad though. And they're still he's been out the last 2 games. And he's what? How big is Savard? 6'2". That's what I mean. The whole friggin' defense is stacked. Like this is a championship team. Now looking at tonight's game, I like Tampa Bay until like this is the game where if Carolina lose tonight, it's over. If Carolina, you don't need to be Kreskin to be told that, right? You're down 2-0 and you've lost your home ice advantage. You're going to Tampa Bay, defending Stanley Cup champions. You got to hope if you're Carolina, the only way you beat Tampa Bay is Vasilevsky poops the bed. That's the only way you're going to beat Tampa Bay is if Vazzy has a bad night. And you got to catch him on a bad night to really to get the puck by him, right? So, and look at this. Carolina, 2-8 in the last 10 trips in Atlanta at the Amalie Center. This is going to be a tough road here tonight for Carolina. And, they're going to have a lot of fans in Tampa Bay. So I just think this is – I'm not gonna touch it because I've already made my units on these. And I got a futures ticket on Tampa Bay winning the series and the cup. As soon as they beat Florida, I bet them to win the cup. And I got them to win this series. So, I think if Carolina doesn't win tonight, it's over. It's turn out the lights and this one's over. All right. Any questions on the other? I think Montreal is going to finish off Winnipeg. Great goaltending, and Winnipeg. We'll find out last game if they were sitting around reading press clippings too much of their, admiring their Edmonton win. But having that cheap shot at the end of the game, I'm pretty sure some of the players are probably like, anytime you get a cheap shot like that, then there's a team guilt that sinks into the room, right? People feel guilty. It's like, oh God. I hope Jake Evans is okay. I haven't heard anything today. How you doing, Derek? Derek Perez says, "What's up, Ray?" Canes with the percentage play, law of average in play tonight. Public perception on Tampa Bay, but Hurricanes. Yeah, you know what? You're right. The perception is Tampa Bay is going to kill them tonight. But there's a reason why they won their division, right? And they had home ice advantage. They're a good team. They're well coached. But the only thing is, Rod Brindamore doesn't lace up. Yeah, you want Rod Brindamore in this lineup because he was when he was with the Flyers and the Canes, he was known for great playoff player, right? And you can see they got a bit of Rod Brindamore's attitude in their team. But this is I think there's better value betting the Islanders than touching this game. Like, who really wants to bet against the Tampa Bay Lightning right now? Hey, it's just you're throwing away dumb money, in my opinion. I wouldn't even touch that game. If you think they're gonna win, go ahead. But I'm telling you right now, your chances of winning are pretty slim, and none, and Slim has left the building. All right, let's go to Major League Baseball. Now I'm gonna do a couple of games here since some of the games have already started. In fact, let me take a look at that Yankee game. Man, Tampa Bay, last couple of nights I've been riding them, and still 0-0 now in the third. But here's a couple of games I'm going to look at with you guys. Now, Boston-Houston, that's going to start at 2:10. In fact, let me go to bullpenpicks.com. Folks, if you want my picks each and every day for free, go to bullpenpicks.com. I'm having a pretty good run right now. In fact, if I look at my selections here, there's 40, 53, 53, 59. I'm hitting 59% in my last 100 picks at bullpenpicks.com. So if you go to most followed, look for the old Expo. Oh, look at that up there now. There's the old Expo logo, Ron Raymond. 6-4 yesterday off okay night. Wasn't a great night. 60%. I'll take it. Hey, good song like that. I'll take it. But here's what I got going today. And here's the people I follow. So these are the people that I follow at Bullpen Picks. Eddie O from Montreal, my good friend Eddie. There's Musk. Hey, Ed Drake. We love the Drake here at the Raymond Report. Yeah, look at Musk here, 739. I think he's leading the pack right now. He's having, you know what? Ed Drake's a great handicapper. Let me see. The Janko here, or Dajniko. Sorry, I don't mean to. Laura. How about if I go with Laura? Is this you, Laura Bauer? Let me see. This is Lori. No, I wonder if this is Lori. Is this you, Lori? Hey, is this you here at Bullpen Picks? All right. So Ed Musk, look at that, 739. Craig Franklin. Craig's having a good run here. Craig's at 659, and there's yours truly, Ronnie Ray, 641. So you can follow my picks each and every day. So let's take a look at let's compare my Yankees just went up 1-0. Yeah, thank God I didn't touch that game. You know what? The Yankees are hitting. They had a bad series in Detroit, and the Rays are good. Rays are the best team in the American League East. But yeah, I didn't touch that game there today. I do like I even took the Yankees today. I didn't like the race. So Seattle, LA, I took Seattle. You can see the people I follow here. There's Mark Nations, GSL 21. There's Laura right here. Didn't put her picks in yet. So everybody is on the Angels, but I'm on Seattle. I do like Seattle in this spot here today. Chicago Cubs, San Fran. This is going to be a good game. You got a great pitching matchup here tonight. You got Zach Davies up against Anthony DeScalfani. I do like San Francisco. So does the people I follow. So these guys here are all on San Fran as well. I got them at 65%. Here's 67 for Crankster, 57, 65, 54. And that's how you can see if one of the players here at Bullpen likes the pick, how much their confidence level is. This is a great site. Have you guys been on this site? Have you guys been playing? This is now there's no really the only incentive to play at this site is to follow other pickers so you can use it as a tool for your betting, right? And that there's a reason why I did that. There's a reason why I don't put any money, because as soon as I put money up or I make contests or I put a prize, then the incentive and the mindset of the entire website changes, because everybody has a different incentive on to play. But if you're it's like Twitter, right? Why do you go on Twitter? You go on Twitter because you're either bored or you're looking for information, right? Because there's really no benefits of Twitter unless you're searching for an injury. If you're it's like the Inquirer sometimes, right? The National Enquirer when you're reading Twitter. But this here, what I call the bullpen picks, and I also have b-ball picks and hockey picks. This is like like I call bullpen picks the Twitter of baseball. Same thing with hockey picks. I call hockey picks the Twitter of hockey, right? Because once you follow other good pickers, and then you respect those players, then it makes you think twice. Like for instance, now everybody here is on the Angels while I'm on Seattle. Now I've got to what are these guys seeing? The guys I respect, what are they seeing that I'm not seeing? And I got a 56%, 53, 60, 55. So the fact that they don't have their confidence level at above 60% tells me they're not sure either. So they're just flipping a quarter, right? Where I got a 56 and I'm flipping my quarter here too. But I'm going with the Mariners because of the pitching. Justice Sheffield going today for the Seattle Mariners, and they're on a little bit of a run of late, even though they lost their last two games. But let me go take. In fact, what did I see this morning when I did my handicapping? Let me see. I saw something that really swayed me to take Seattle here. Let me see here. Oh, there it is. 7-3 in their last 10. So they're 7-3 in their last 10. And let me see. There was something else. Let me go down here. And Seattle. Let me see. I thought I saw something else. Maybe it was a goal against LA. Seattle 7-4 against conference opponents on the road, 4-1 on Thursday games. Let me see the Angels. Hey, the Angels. Ever since they lost Trout, it's really tough to back the Angels right now. And I'm looking at their, again, it's a tough one, but Sheffield is the reason why Justice Sheffield is the reason why I took, and Griffin Canning. I looked at, Canning. He didn't have a lot of innings pitched. When I look at Canning's last couple of starts, he didn't log in. I like workhorses, right? And when I look at tonight's starter for the Angels and the Seattle, so look at Canning, 4-3, an ERA of 5.4. And if I look at his last couple of starts, okay, he went 6 innings before against Texas, but only 2 innings against Minnesota, 6 innings against Boston, 5.2, 5.1, 2.1, 2.1. So anytime I see pitchers that only gone, okay, you can get rocked once, but you get rocked 3 times in 3 starts, then it's tough to start backing you up, right? And I look at Justice Sheffield, 4-4, ERA of 4.96. No, but look at his innings, right? He had every start for Sheffield, 5 innings, 6 innings, 5 innings. So he will give you innings, and where Griffin Canning won't, right? So that's the reason why I took. This is one of the reasons why I took Seattle here today. All right, let me see. Where was I? All right, next game, San Fran. I love San Francisco tonight. I know the. Let me see here. Let me go. Their last series, the Cubs had a good homestand, right? The Cubs did well at Wrigley. They swept the Padres. Maybe this is a down spot. They travel overnight. They're coming off a series sweep against the Padres. They had a good run at home. In fact, let me see here. They went 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-4, 5-1 in a 6-game series where San Francisco they lost their last game 8-1. Alex Wood got rocked in that one there. Well, I don't know if he got rocked, but the team got rocked. But I do like San Francisco here tonight. And I thought I see here. Let me see the numbers here. San Francisco versus right-handers, 8-6 at home, and 2-0, 3-0 coming off a home loss as a favorite, and they're 6-2 at home coming off a loss. Where the Chicago Cubs coming off a win, 4-6 on the road, and they're coming off a 6-game homestand. I think this is a tough spot here for the Cubbies tonight. All right, I'm going to take San Francisco. I do like Washington. I don't know what the score is now in that game. I know they're playing right now, so I took Washington. I got the Yankees. I got Boston. That's going to be a start there pretty soon. I do like, even though Perez is going today, but is that let me see here for Odorizzi. He just came back from injury, so he hasn't looked sharp in one outing. Let me see here, Jake Odorizzi. Where are you? 0-2, 6.7 ERA, and let me see. So he went 5.1. He had a pretty good outing last game against San Diego. Only 3 hits, 1 run. But prior to that, the Angels. So he's only had 4 starts this year. But I do like Boston, and you know what? Boston's they don't want to get swept here, right? So that's one reason why I take Boston here today, because of the the pride factor, getting swept. I know Houston would love to put the boots to them there. I do like Colorado today. I took Colorado. I got the Rockies against Texas. That's a 3-10 start. I took the Bucks. That could have went either way, but I went with pitching here. I went with Pittsburgh. EDC is going today for the Miami Marlins, Hernandez, and he's just coming back from injury. I love Milwaukee, so does everybody else. The White Sox, we're all on the White Sox. Kansas City, Bubic here, Bubic, I think it's Bubic. I do like Kansas City here, and looking at Chris Bubic. Let me see his last few starts. I know he's logged in a lot of innings. He's been a workhorse. Hang on here. Let me get the stats. Chris Bubic. Let me see here. 1.52 ERA. That's pretty good. And look at that. 6 innings, 5 innings, 6 innings, 5. First 2 of the year. He only lasted 1 inning. I don't know if he came in as relief, but he's logged in a lot of innings. So I do like Kansas City here today. I do like the Cardinals. I love St. Louis here tonight after that Western swing. And I'm the only one on the Mets. You know what? Great pitching matchup. Yu Darvish against Taijuan Walker. I went with value. And when I look at this game here tonight, I went strictly with value. Sometimes in sports, the analytics were not there. Sometimes you got to go to situational handicapping. And when I look at this game here tonight between the Mets and the Padres, I look at value. And the value, look at that, minus 108, and you're getting plus 156. And I had minus 189 for the Padres. Now, Padres are on a 4-game losing streak. They had a rough, stint at Wrigley. And, then is Tommy Pham back? That collision he had yesterday, that was ugly. And who knows if Tommy's going to be back here today. But I do like the Mets. The Mets, look at Taijuan Walker. When he goes for the Mets, they're 8-1 in his start. So you're getting good value, a track record to back it up. Give me the New York Mets here tonight. And you can't, I say it all the time. You can't drink chalk all day, right? You got to take your shots at betting long shots. You got to pick your spots, because at the end of the day, 60% of the time, favorites will win in moneyline sports, NHL or MLB. All right, there you have it, folks. That was the show today for a full Friday. How was your full Friday? Are you guys having a good full Friday today? Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. And thank you for showing up here each and every Thursday. I appreciate it. I know it's not every day, but it's without a production team and having a team doing research and just having a crew. Even these the shows on Thursday, I want to do it better. Like sound effects and visual effects, and like you see in the bigger money type of productions. But unfortunately, when you're a one-man show and your programmers in India, you got to do what you got to do here, right? But hey, you know what? I think it's good value. I hope you guys enjoy the show, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Hope you guys have a good weekend. And again, if you are interested in my picks, my premium picks, you can get them for 27 cents a day, $99 a year. You go to picks, go to Ron Raymond. Didn't have a good night last night, but you know what? The last couple of nights have been a bit slow, but had a pretty good week last week. Look at all the winners here last week. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm still 15 and 10 in my last 25 after two so-so nights, right? So I'm still 15 and 10, and that's basically what I am. I'm a 58% handicapper. And I do all sports, right? I do MLB, NBA, NHL, college football, and NFL. The only thing I don't do is college basketball because there's too much of that time going on. So, and again, if you are interested in the Rain Report, you can get it here each and every day at atsstats.com. For Ron Raymond, yeah, that's me. This was the Rain Report for a Thursday, June 3rd, a full Friday. I'll be back next Thursday, and I look forward to seeing you guys all here again at the Rain Report. In the meantime, shop for value, play those percentages. I'll see you back here next week on the Rain Report. Cheers.